Hey guys, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. So the big story heading into the weekend and into next week is holy crap, the John Cena heel turn got taken to another level. The heel run that was largely very, very disappointing. Got taken to another level with the reiteration almost 14 years to the day, off by one singular week. John Cena cuts a pipe bomb promo on CM Punk, just 8 nights away from their title match at Night of Champions. And this was an all timer of a segment. And what is crazy that since the moment that we found out that this match was going to happen, and we were kind of dreading it and like saying, man, why is CM Punk facing John Cena going into a Saudi Arabia show? And we're assuming that, hey, this is all going to lead to, Cody and Cena potentially at SummerSlam. Okay, I'm gonna dissect really where we're going with this moving forward because we still got 8 days to try and figure this out. But let's just address the elephant in the room here. CM Punk has single-handedly rescued this for WWE. He has single-handedly saved this John Cena heel run because I don't know what it is. Some guys just make magic together, and these two that run over the summer 14 years ago, the magic is back. The promo on Monday in Phoenix was not the greatest thing in the world. It was fine, and we had the loose end line of, hey, you're going to have to follow me to Saudi Arabia. Then the surprise appearance on SmackDown last week where CM Punk basically said he was going to spit roast and sacrifice John Cena to the gods of pro wrestling, and like it was a great promo. Some people didn't like it, and then this week to basically come out for a run in after the R-Truth match. By the way, guess who John Cena was facing when Punk cut his pipe bomb? R-Truth. That was crazy. And R-Truth deserves some credit being involved in this too. And if you want to put that in your holster and basically continue to subscribe to the fact that this was all a work and this was all their plan, I refuse to believe that. This is just a coincidence. It's a great coincidence, but for CM Punk to go in there 8 days out from a show that maybe part of him doesn't want to do because of his his beliefs, and yes, we can debate the whole Saudi Arabian element of this till we're blue in the face, but this is what it is. This is what WWE has been for about 6, 7, 8 years with the Saudi Arabian partnership. You're gonna at some point, if you're going to work for this company, you're going to have to work a show in Saudi Arabia. That's just basically what it is at this point. So, but yeah, CM Punk, everything that he's done, it's been 2 weeks. We literally started doing this. What was the Money in the Bank show was on the 7th, right? It was on July the 7th. We're sitting here, 2 weeks later. So basically we've had 3 segments on this thing. And this already feels like one of the biggest fucking deals on this show. And if you can just look past the Night of Champions element of this feels like an all-time level of a thing. And it got taken to a different level with and some people listen. I'm all about callbacks when they mean something and they and the nostalgia can be applied and really, but there was a lot of meaning behind this. And for the first, and I think the biggest thing that I can say about CM Punk and what credit he deserves for and I don't know if John Cena was just holding back or maybe he was just coasting a little bit, but this was the first time the entire run since March, first time in 3 months that John Cena has legitimately sounded like a heel. Like he said, like an actual heel, not like a monotonous, robotic, just carbon copy, cookie cutter, just asshole heel. This sounds like John Cena as a bad guy because he sounded real. It sounded like he was legitimately angry. He was airing out his grievances. He was being a jerk. And, it didn't sound like, like those stereotypical bad guys that we see. This is the heel John Cena that we all wanted to see. It took until the end of June to get this. By the way, he didn't turn heel until March, so we've really only had 3 months of heel Cena. But yeah, this thing was not going well. This was not going well. He did not sound like it didn't sound like a real it's almost sounded like a performance, one of his acting performances. It's like this actually feels like a character. It doesn't feel like it's just a job. I'm just a role that I'm playing. Like this feels like John Cena in a bad guy role. Yes, I understand the whole logic of he's playing John Cena, and this is sports entertainment, but still, this actually felt real. And Punk, we'll see what happens on the go home show. I do need to at some point dissect what the future of this whole thing is going to look like, because listen, man, the summer just got turned on its ear. We think we know what's going to happen in the King of the Ring tournament. We think we know what's going to go on at SummerSlam. I don't know, man, but one thing is for damn sure: the John Cena heel turn was kind of going off the train tracks. It's back on the right path. And hopefully they can continue down this path and stick the landing with whatever they're going to do at Night of Champions, whatever is going to feed into Saturday night's main event, and whatever is going to feed on the road to SummerSlam and through the rest of the year for John Cena, and whether he's the champion or not. But I'll save that for another video. But listen, credit to R-Truth too. It sucks that basically he was kind of tossed aside, but he played his role effectively well. It'll be interesting to see what he does moving forward coming out of this. But really what this was about was that pipe bomb. And a moment that we really, like I said, since the actual heel turn, there and maybe that first promo that he had, which I think was in Brussels, was in Belgium. Really outside of that, this is really just, it's felt like, it's felt like a bunch of hot air. So the last couple of weeks, really, you've seen, okay, this is starting to cook. And Cena finally getting his licks in, he got him last week, and then he had the back and forth with Punk. And then now he's got this whole unleashing, this airing of grievances, all this dirty laundry, putting out the former WWE guys' government names, one of whom's in the rival company. By the way, can we just address this? Some people are like saying, man, Cena should have addressed AEW and he should have maybe shouted out. Listen, I think I was fine. The Claudio thing, whatever. That made sense given in the context of the ties with Punk and whatever. And him being Cesaro, obviously in WWE, Nick Nemeth, Matt Cardona, same thing. If they would have brought up AEW, I think that actually would have been a bad idea. I think this was handled about as well as you could for a work shoot type of promo that we knew where they were going with this. This was a great way to kind of kickstart this feud. And, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing where this all ends up, because I obviously the prospect of John Cena and CM Punk wrestling each other is amazing. We saw how great and how much chemistry they had inside the Elimination Chamber just 3 months ago. But to see this going on now, it feels so much of a bigger deal, even if it's going to be at a Night of Champions show in Saudi Arabia in the middle of the day out here in the United States. So it is what it is. The other thing, and I'll say this before I sign off in here, I think part of the reason why they ended up doing that, and maybe this is just some of this is timing too, part of the reason why they're doing this at Night of Champions. I get the feeling, listen, WWE doesn't do shit by accident, okay? When they were thinking about this feud, they wanted to do this. So seeing the symmetry of what I told you guys right off the top, literally almost a week, 14 years to the day, off by a week. This was June 20th, 2025, June 27th, 2011. And I think part of the reason why they didn't do it is because they had a show next. They're doing that would have been the go home show for the pay-per-view, and it would have been in Saudi Arabia. I don't think the Saudi Arabia part would have played a role in it. To me, it played a factor. It's like, hey, you do that in America, that was going to probably get a better reaction. But also, like I said, they did this with at least another week to build to the show in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions, 1 week from this Saturday. So Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.